Peace, world peace. Welcome back to Goddess Dawn Speaks, aka the $1 trillion Goddess Baby. And I'm here with a update on the Keffe D trial situation. Remember Keffe D, right? He's the guy who they are basically making responsible for Tupac Shakur's killing back in September of 1996. They raided his house in the summer, and then a couple months later in September, went ahead and indicted him, and he's been locked up in a Vegas jail ever since, and he's awaiting his trial. And his trial is supposed to be in June of 2024, coming up real quick. But in the meantime, his lawyers are trying to get him a bond, and not even just a bond. They want him out on his own recognizance, which typically means you're not even going to pay a dime to get out, and they're going to trust you basically to come back to court for your hearings and your trial. They say if he can't get that, they wanted, a reasonable bail amount for him, which in this case, I think is like $100K. So the reason the judge postponed the bond hearing, though, was set for yesterday, January 2nd, is because apparently Keffe D and his family members are out here threatening witnesses. Okay, let's hear what the LA Times has to say about the situation. They say a bail hearing for the man accused of orchestrating the 1996 killing of Tupac Shakur was postponed Tuesday amid prosecutors' allegations that he poses a risk to potential witnesses in the case. Now, his lawyers, like I said, they filed a motion. They want him to be released, on bail. But because the prosecutors went ahead and filed a court document to the judge, letting them know they have evidence that he and his family have been threatening witnesses, to the point where they have even put one witness in witness protection. Okay, they say that in October, they have a recording of a jail call between Davis and his son, while Davis has been in Clark County Detention Center in Vegas. They say the son told Keffe D, the dad, about a green light authorization. The prosecutors explained in their court document that in Davis's world, a green light is an authorization to kill. Now, the court filing made no reference of Davis instructing anyone to harm anyone or of anyone being physically harmed. But prosecutors say at least one witness was provided assistance from federal authorities so he could change his residence. Okay, that's serious. Now, the Clark County Public Defender's Office didn't immediately return requests for comment, but eventually came out and said that they wanted its response to the threats in writing. And they say he declined to provide details. So he did say that he didn't see any evidence that any witness in the case had been named or threatened. So apparently he hadn't heard the recorded calls. Or maybe he's just not associating the green light term with murder, because that's what it is. So they go on to say that their client, the defendant, is in poor health and he poses no danger to the community and he won't flee. But of course, that's their job, right? They're asking his bail to be set at no more than $100,000. I think that if it's still the 10% situation that you would need to pay of that would be $10,000. Where Keffe D get $10,000 from? Once once you a gangster, I guess you always a gangster, child. Under all of the spotlight he's under, and he knows he's being watched like a hawk. You telling me he's still on the phone with his son of all people, trying to get people up out of here so they won't testify against him? And who else is left to even testify is my question, because supposedly he's the only living person who is a witness aside from Suge Knight. And Suge Knight has already let us know that he has no intention on snitching on Keffe. Matter of fact, he said Keffe was not the shooter or the killer. And he also, I believe, said his nephew, Orlando Brown, who everybody says was the shooter, he said he wasn't the shooter either. So, Suge Knight, he's known to collude and convolute things He's also known to lie. So I don't know how much weight we could put on his word. But if prosecutors have recorded phone calls and information that, says that we need to protect these witnesses, even with paying them to have witness protection, to be moved from their residence to somewhere discreet, that says a lot. So obviously he's worried about something. There's a lot of people out there saying that he's not going to get convicted, that this thing is just it's just something for show. But if he's doing all of this and they're talking about green lighting and all of that, then there's something behind these charges. They raided his house. They had to have found something in order to move forward with the indictment. I believe there was a grand jury hearing first, which determines whether or not something is going to get actual indictment. And this went through for him. I mean, he was literally green lit to be indicted. So, with that being said, it sounds like Keffe D is still a big dummy. I mean, he got himself here in the first place with saying things out of his own mouth, right? He wrote a whole book, claimed, all kinds of things. And the reason he's sitting behind bars now is mostly, I think, because of that. But again, they raided his house. They have recorded jail calls, and they're still compiling evidence. His trial isn't due to come up until June of this year. It's a few months, it's 6 months away, but honestly, that's going to be here with a quickness. But in the meantime, between now and June, they're watching and they're listening. So if Keffe D has any sense left in that noggin of his, he would just shut up, right? But anyway, yeah, so no bond hearing, witnesses being put in witness protection, recorded jail calls between him and his son and whoever else in his family. And yeah, I guess you could take the gang out of the person out the gang, but you can't take the gang out the person. Well, that's all I got, y'all. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Till next time, peace.